Have you ever wondered if you should take out a personal loan to pay off all of your credit cards? My name is Bracey Daniel, and I'm a personal finance expert and the founder of From Sheep to Shark. I invented the invisible system to stop bleeding money and start stacking cash, and I run a 6-month money coaching program called Shark School. And let me tell you, this is a very common question that I get in my invisible system group for those clients that have gone through the system. So I'm going to talk to you about the pros of that type of strategy and the cons of that type of strategy, and some ways to help decide. All right. So first and foremost, we'll go through the pros. So what's the upside of using a strategy like this? So the first thing is you'll have one payment instead of like a lot of little credit card payments. So this helps to keep things organized, and it can ease some of the stress of paying a lot of bills. Now, the second thing is that it usually can lower the interest rates and have a set end date, usually somewhere between 3 and 7 years is typically the way personal loans work. The third thing is that it can free up cash flow because credit card interest rates are so high that if you're paying a lot in interest, oftentimes you can reduce your interest rate and thereby be able to reduce your payments and free up some cash flow. So there are some upsides to this type of method, and this is the stuff that people find so attractive when they get those envelopes in the mail offering them personal loans. Now, there is a very big risk and a very big downside. Now, the problem where people get into debt is because they have the habit of needing money instead of the habit of having money. And so paying off borrowed money with more borrowed money, it feels like you've made progress, but the truth is you really haven't. And so you have to really work on changing those underlying thought patterns, those underlying habits that caused the debt to happen in the first place. Now, it's never as simple as, oh, so-and-so just overspends. I just am an overspender. I make reckless purchases. That's very rarely the reason I see people deep in credit card debt. Often they have a poor saving habit, and then they need something. Something comes up, life throws a curveball their way, and then they're using their credit cards. So this is the risk. It's that if you don't change those underlying thoughts, patterns, and behaviors, then you have all these empty credit cards and a personal loan that feels like relief. And so the temptation to use your cards again is there, and it's very real. And I've cleaned up a lot of financial situations where somebody's done this and then they ran their cards back up. And so then they have a big personal loan and their credit card bills. And so this is a very real risk. So when you're deciding whether or not to do it, this is usually what I suggest for my clients, the clients that work with me in my 6-month Shark School coaching program. Now, so the first thing, this sounds silly, but this works, is to put your credit cards in some Tupperware and in the freezer. And the reason that you're going to do that is because the Tupperware and the freezer, it means that you still have the credit cards. They're still available to you if you need them. But you can't microwave it. So if you were going to make a purchase, you either need to wait for the ice to melt or chisel it. And so it makes that a very conscious decision. You're not going to be at the store and just be like, oh, I could just really go for that and throw it on the credit card. You have to go home and get your credit card. And so it's still there if you have like a real, true, genuine emergency before your savings is built up, but you're not going to be using it. So I would say to do that and to get used to living on your debit card, living on cash. And so if you can do that for a period of 6 months, then that's usually good enough to know that you've broken the habit of using the credit cards. So during those 6 months that the credit cards are in the freezer, build up a healthy working capital account. Now, if you're in the invisible system, you know that the third part of the invisible system program is building up your working capital account. Now, for those of you who are not in the invisible system, what that is the things that we need, we just don't need them right now. Right? And so this is usually where people drop the ball when it comes to their finances. They don't need it right now, so they don't pay attention to it. So this is why you want to build that up. And because what this does is it now you're not using the cards. So you've stopped using the cards and now you're starting to stack cash. This is amazing for you because now you have the habit of having money. Now, this means that if in month 7 you were to need some snow tires, chances are you're going to have the money to be able to pay for that, and then you can remove the credit cards. So you want to work through your like work through your finances, look at your transactions, find the waste in your spending, find those low joy purchases, and really clean up to make your spending more efficient. And so that's usually changing your habits around how you shop, not necessarily spending less at the store, but going to the store less. And then you can be in a good position to know whether or not you're going to take out a personal loan or use the snowball method. But the main thing is if you don't change those underlying behaviors, this strategy can totally screw you, because now you're going to have twice the mess. So I'd be very careful with it. And if you're thinking about doing this, you really might want to consider booking an appointment to work with me, so that way you can have some like love and support and guidance going through changing these thoughts, patterns, and behaviors as you go. All right, so I'm here if you need anything, just reach out, and I will talk to you soon.